Okay, hi there, Pisces, and for those who have their sun in Pisces, moon in Pisces, or if you have your rising ascendant sign in Pisces, this reading is for you for the month of June 2019 for your love monthly forecast reading. Okay, so let's begin. Well, first things off, we are starting the reading with the two kings in reverse. King of Pentacles, which is representing the overall situation you are maybe going through right now, being challenged by the King of Swords. So, what this really means, or telling us, when we are in concern about love or in a relationship setup, this could mean that you might be concerned with a certain person who is in power, has power over you, or has a power over the situation that you are very much in concern with. Again, this may not be directly about a relationship or a loved one, but for some reason, this is showing up in the reading because it is somehow affecting the relationship setup. You have that kind of energy. So with this, I really feel that this is more of a stubborn energy. Like you are in a situation wherein maybe there has been some form of trials needing to overcome. I kind of feel that for some people, this could be like a crisis situation wherein people are judging someone, something like that. Like maybe you have made your own mistakes, or the person that you are in concern with, they are, encountering some form of crisis type of situation wherein they might be some form of big challenge they are experiencing. It could be that something legal as well. So they have their own issue that they need to overcome. This could also manifest in such a way wherein you feel you are, the things that you say, the things that you do are well justified and true. But since this is all showing in reverse, like I feel that the things that you believe are true, maybe you are misunderstanding something right there. I really feel that this is the type of energy which is showing up here. Especially that the basis and foundation card is the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is a very deceptive card. So it could really mean, and it could be really telling us that, there are lack of information, or there are informations which has clouded you in a certain situation. So maybe you are judging someone, but the things that you do, your overall conclusion is really not that justified. Let's put it that way. You are concluding on something not really based on facts, but with something else. Maybe you are overthinking something, or there could be a situation which has stressed you out to the point wherein you think you are rational, but you're not. That kind of energy. Either way, both of this card is the Kings. And as you can see in the image, these two cards are like having some form of command. And what is the aura of the king? It's like very much almighty. I'm not the one who does the pleasing. It's supposed to be other people that giving me some form of pleasure of some kind. So there is really some form of pride and ego into the situation. And the way this is showing up is that, you know, like people are not perfect. You are not perfect. But the timing, how this happened, I kind of feel that it has triggered a lot of problems, you know. Let's say, like in a relationship, you fought with your partner, and maybe they said something that you are easily triggered by, which made you suddenly act in a way that is very irrational. And maybe in a normal sense, you are not going to be bothered by what that person told you. But at that moment, you're very, very sensitive to what they have said. So it triggered in a different way, which created some form of conflict or some form of reaction in you, which could have a clash of communication or responses that are not really very pleasing not very pleasing as a couple. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, this is really the energy we're in. There is some form of mistake here. There is some form of mistake, but at the same time, you are being very stubborn to say sorry, I guess, to apologize. I mean, this could be you or the person that you're dealing with, because they are being stubborn and all that. They think they are right. They think that you're the one who's not logical, like you did something so wrong, so you need to be punished, something like that. But they are coming from, or whoever this person is, they're coming from a place wherein, I guess, they are so stressed out to the point wherein they needed to play the blame game. You know, because the Seven of Swords is like one of those really cunning people. But it's not as if it's intentional. Sometimes it's a way for them probably to escape on something. Either way, they're not coming from a place of pure integrity. You know, it's not really whatever that they are doing or they have done, it's not really justified, you know. And yeah, and in the recent past, we have here the Two of Wands. So here we are immediately seeing that there is something. The Two of Wands is all about planning. It could be a planning that the two of you have probably talked about, but maybe there are some loopholes in that sort of planning for the future. So it created some form of trouble right there. So yeah, this is also a certain situation wherein you come into play that it manifests in a way that you're still thinking about taking action on a certain situation, or a person, that kind of thing. The Two of Wands is really like you wanted a certain situation, you have not really received, you have not reached your goal yet, but you're planning to. But the way that things are showing in the present moment, it kind of feels that, you know, this is the goal that I want. For example, I want to get married with this person, but the way that things are going on right now, it really feels flat, you know. It feels like a stretch to marry this person, or you're not coming into a situation wherein you feel sort of lost. You don't know if things are still gonna happen, or if this is still what you really want. The crowning energy here is a Ten of Wands, and a Ten of Wands is something that, you know, we have a lot of burden with. You are very, very much stressed, and like as if you're battling something that is, maybe you feel that a little bit too much for you, that kind of energy. But the Ten of Wands is like the card of a fighter, I feel. It's like the warrior card that even though that is hard, I am still doing my best to go forward into things. So eventually something will clear up on your mind. If there are things that you have done before, I feel that there will be an opportunity for you to fix a certain situation, whether it's a relationship with someone or a connection with someone. Because in the near future, we do have here the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is like, for me, a message, you know, that you either initiate or receive. And it could be very much sudden too. But the last card of the deck is the Page of Pentacles, which is also another form of message. So this makes me feel that, you know, within the month of June, it might not be immediately within the start of June. Most likely this is going to be mid-month to the end. I kind of feel that, you know, some form of communication will trigger something, will make you connect with the other person, but you might have to battle something personally within yourself before you take action, or before this manifests, kind of thing. Again, this is a positive thing because I kind of feel that this communication or this person that will come into your life, they will be acting like a bridge for you to know what path you should take, or, you know, it's like someone is going to be waking you up from your long slumber, kind of thing. And yeah, and at the end of the day, it will just make you tell yourself that it's what you are all the time, that all the wasted time you have put effort in seems wasted, you know. You're just being stubborn, you know. I should have just communicated to begin with, that kind of thing. But sometimes this is all part of process, and it's not really wasted time or energy, because sometimes because of friction, because of frustration, because of that specific argument or specific specific problem, it leads us to realize something. It leads us to, to conclude something. And it leads us to that person to compromise and talk things out. Compared with if we did not experience this problem, if we did not encounter this issue, if there was no friction and problem and frustration, you will not have realized what you needed to realize, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure if I'm making sense at all. But the very main idea here is that everything happens for a reason. And during those times that you're not thinking clearly, that has a purpose in your life, whether you admit that or not. Whether in your life or in someone else's life, that specific issue plays an important role. So and there is going to be some form of major decisions that you are going to take in the future. Now, what represents you right now is the Devil card in reverse. And the Five of Pentacles was actually attached to this card. So I might as well add it there. And I find this really a funny thing because I feel that, when the Devil card shows up right, it's intense and passionate, and it's very much easy to give in to temptation and with our own desires. And so in reverse, it still has that energy, but I kind of feel that for some of you guys, you are restricting yourself. Maybe you're trying to control your own feelings or your own energies. Like I said, there is a stubborn energy right there. Maybe you are in a position wherein you are forcing yourself not to face a certain person, not to reconnect with someone, not to communicate with this person. But with the Five of Pentacles right there, I kind of feel that this is the energy of I wanted to be out of your life, to move away from this person, but for some reason I still cannot help but have a form of bond with this person. This is an energy we're in. Sometimes no matter what we do or no matter how hard we try, sometimes fate does something funny in our lives, wherein it just leads us to that specific person, that specific event, that specific trigger point in our lives. So and it's highly possible that it could be you who is going to be initiating this message, especially if you are the one who is forcing yourself not to communicate with a person who is obviously an important person and significant person in your life. So we do have the Two of Swords here for the card that represents external factors involved and other person. So they are also waiting on you. So I really feel that it's not so bad to give in to your feelings. There is a difference when you are just being tempted due to lust and desires. And there is a difference when real feelings are involved. And for me, it's not really so bad if you want to do something. It's okay to be emotionally triggered if you truly love the person. That kind of situation, it's not really something to be scared of. It's not something to be so cautious of. Temptation due to lust, that is something that you may need to, have to think twice with. But the way I'm seeing here, I really feel that, your emotions are emotionally triggered, and it's coming in a form of real and true love. Your hopes and fears right here is showing up with the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is technically a positive card. And showing here is like, I really feel that there are fears of upsets on your part. Maybe you feel that, the other person will never understand you, will never reciprocate things. There is a form of disappointment in some way, but at the same time, you're also hoping that basically you're hoping for things to work out without really thinking too much of the details, that kind of thing. And the outcome that we have here is the King of Cups. So eventually you are going to do and act on things based on your true feelings and your true emotions. And this is going to start in a form of communication. But I really feel that this is not a new communication of some kind. This has an element of resolving problems that are already existing, and it's also telling us some form of progress and movement. So it may take some form of effort and acceptance of accepting the situation for what they are, and accepting that the person that you are in concern with is not perfect, the same way that you're not perfect, that kind of thing. I really feel that the key here is to like, how do I say this? Like, I guess I'm gonna say it in a way that ego is really not that worth it when it comes to love, that kind of thing, because I really feel that for this reading, whoever this person I'm tuning in with, they are dealing with a person who is very proud and have a lot of ego in them. And whoever this person is, they will be coming into terms of realizing that, ego is just ego, and they're going to come to a situation wherein they would follow more their feelings, whatever their true feelings are. That is the action that they are going to take, regardless of their ego, And I don't know, I kind of feel that this will be like a 180-degree kind of shift of attitude and personality. And it could be a good thing because, probably they are just affected by the energies of the recent months and they're not on their right mind, and now they're coming to a more settled energy kind of thing. They're willing to talk and communicate, and that is something that I really see clearly here. Wanting to, there is a curious energy of wanting to seek something to someone, wanting to connect with someone, wanting to talk about something, to fix it. King of Cups is also very healing energy, so ultimately this will heal a part of a situation or relationship that you are in concern with. So yeah. I really feel that, this might happen when you start to take initiative based on your intuition. And, I really feel that for a lot of Pisces, try not to think too much, but act upon your intuition. And those are two different things, really. Some people think that it's their intuition, but really they're just thinking too much. So there is also an importance to see the difference when you're acting upon intuition and acting upon, based on logic. So for Pisces, I really feel that acting upon intuition will give you some form of answers. And try to be more, when you talk to a person, trigger the emotional connection that will be a starting line for you guys. So yeah, this is my reading for you, for all people in the sign of Pisces. I'm not really sure if this is making sense or anything, but yeah, I hope that this would somehow help few of you guys who are tuning in with this video to be like to act like a guide or something, that sometimes saying sorry is really not that of a big deal, as long as you are sincere in everything. The other person will be very much willing to compromise at the end of the day, and who knows, they might apologize too. So yeah, thank you for watching and subscribing with me, guys. I'll see you guys next month.